Hello and welcome to the News Minute. The Union government has lifted the 58-year-old ban on RSS. Government servants were prevented from participating in RSS activities openly, but now that ban has been lifted and the opposition parties are crying foul. They accuse Prime Minister Modi of trying to communalize and politicize government institutions. To talk about this, I have with me Dr. Ram Puniyani, the head of Center of Study for Society and Secularism. So thank you so much for talking to us. What does this mean, sir? Because they could have
Yeah.
done this in the last 10 years, they could have done this in the previous Vajpayee regime, but why now?
Now, this thing which has come up now in 10 plus years, because already 10 years of Modi government are over, and now they are introducing it. So we'll come to this, but basically, let's understand the nature of RSS. Because RSS is, I think, the biggest organization in the world, and it claims to be a cultural organization. If we begin from beginning, we see that its prayer is there, its pledge is there. Now, both this prayer and pledge of RSS, they talk of Hindus, this nation belonging to Hindus, and RSS striving for a Hindu Rashtra. So, all those, its workers are called Swayam Sevaks. When they get further training, they are called Pracharaks, preacher, and voluntary workers. Now, this pledge is compulsory that I will dedicate my life for Hindu nation, and this is their starting point. Now, secondly, I'll come to this because RSS has one major ideologue, Madhav Sadashiv Golwalkar. They also fondly call him Guruji, and
Hmm.
Guruji has written extensively about it. Guruji writes that our Swayam Sevaks, our workers, they can be deputed to work for other organizations. In that, he mentions BJP, VHP, Vanvasi Kalyan Ashram, Samajik Samras Samaj, that I am also adding. So he says, when you are a Swayam Sevak, wherever you go, you have to follow the instructions of RSS. If you are told to go to politics, do what is needed in politics. If you are told to go to Vanvasi Kalyan Ashram, do what is told to you for that particular thing. So first thing it proves that its volunteers are taking the pledge for Hindu nation.
Hindu
They regard
Rashtra.
Hindu Rashtra, correct. And they regard this country as belonging to Hindus. That is their basic understanding. So these are the two major things which were dictated by Golwalkar. And after that, we see that one of the person who was trained as a pracharak, because pracharak has a long training. Currently, I think it is a 6 month training. Earlier, they have lot of training programs, unlike other organizations, and they are fond of calling themselves as cultural organizations. So, in this training, the pracharaks, preachers, which who come out, then they are deputed to go to different fields of life. Two types of them are there. One who go for bureaucracy, police, military, judiciary, and other things related to the state. The other type of preachers, they go to work for uh, BJP, ABVP, Vanvasi Kalyan Ashram, and all that. But their basic goal, wherever they are there, is to promote the concept of Hindu nation. So its first practical step, which we see, was done by Nathuram Godse.
Hmm.
Nathuram Godse was a trained pracharak who later joined Hindu Mahasabha, became the secretary of Hindu Mahasabha Pune branch, and he murdered Mahatma Gandhi. That time, of course, there are four references I will like to give. One was a reference by Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel. Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel writes that these references are there. I can always share with you. That article will come out hopefully soon. That so Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel writes that the murder has been mainly orchestrated by RSS and Hindu Mahasabha. While Hindu Mahasabha's radical wing is directly involved with the murder, RSS has created an atmosphere of hatred. Their speeches have been full of hatred and hatred all over the country, because of which this murder became possible.
Hmm.
So this Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel, and that's why RSS was banned. Second quote I will give is that of Dr. Rajendra Prasad, who's again a favorite of right-wing politics in India. Dr. Rajendra Prasad also writes that he writes a letter to Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel that RSS is very secretive and its activities tantamount to dividing the society and they are very close to fascist ideology. Jawaharlal Nehru, same conclusion that this is a sort of a organization going on fascist lines. And the last one, Mahatma Gandhi. Mahatma Gandhi, once he was going near Wagha border, there was a lot of refugee work and all that. So RSS volunteers were doing that. So somebody drew attention of Mahatma Gandhi to the fact that RSS volunteers are so disciplined and they are so dedicated to this work. So Mahatma Gandhi replies that similar were the fascists of Germany and the other people from Italy, those who belong to this ideology. So these four freedom fighters, I'm telling you how they looked at RSS. And Golwalkar himself also said in his all writing that our nation is a Hindu nation and we have to go for Hindu Rashtra. So RSS was as such banned in 1948 by Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel. Of course, they have raised the biggest statue for Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel, but it was he who banned RSS. Then in 1975, when the emergency was imposed, they of course tried to patch up with Indira Gandhi, but Indira Gandhi refused to talk to them, and some of them were in jail for some time. And third
And
was
they were
after
writing letters from the jail, trying to strike a compromise between the government of India.
Absolutely, and also trying to flatter Indira Gandhi that you are so good, your programs are so good, etc., etc., and then give us a time to meet you. And third was after this Babri demolition, where different wings of RSS, wings means progeny, so Bajrang Dal, VHP, and RSS volunteers. And from the stage, we know BJP leaders like Murli Manohar Joshi, Lal Krishna Advani, Uma Bharti. From stage, they were giving the slogans of "Ye to keval jhaki hai, Kashi Mathura baki hai, ek dhakka aur do, Babri Masjid tod do." Means this is just a sampler. Kashi and Mathura are remaining. Give one more push and break the Babri Masjid. So these are three occasions when they were banned. In addition, they were also three times the government servants were told not to attend RSS shakhas, not to associate with RSS, because this was an old order from Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel, who was the Home Minister, had issued a circular that our bureaucracy should remain neutral. It should adhere to the values of constitution and should not be partisan to any particular political party. So this circular continued, and accordingly, three times this circular came out that government servants cannot participate in the RSS activities. Now, in between, I must tell you that in between last 75 years, there was a Janata Party government, Morarji Desai, who had a soft corner for RSS, but he did not lift this ban on government servants to join RSS work. Then we know Atal Bihari Vajpayee became Prime Minister thrice, first for 13 days, then for 13 months, then for 4.5 years. He did not lift this ban even then. And now Mr. Modi is in power from over 10 years. He did not do it. So why now? That question comes. He could have done in the second year. He could have done in the third year.
Absolutely.
Now, the only correlation I can think as a observer is that lately, after election results, Mr. Mohan Bhagwat, the Saraj Sangha Chalak of RSS, has been passing oblique remarks against, directed at Mr. Modi's authoritarian behavior. He's calling himself as God incarnate, non-biological and all that, which probably is not acceptable to RSS. So here there is a contradiction. RSS wants BJP to continue because if you see, during this BJP regime, RSS branches have more than doubled up.
Yeah, the number of shakas have doubled up. The number of activities of RSS have doubled up, particularly in South India too. I am from Chennai, I'm from Tamil Nadu, and even in Andhra Pradesh, Karnataka, Kerala, all their activities have doubled up. Yeah.
So RSS knows BJP is their best bet, but RSS is uncomfortable with a leader who
Hmm.
talks in such a language which will put off many of the middle of the road people, many of the sympathizers of RSS, and opponents, of course, will take full advantage of his boisterous self projections. Of course,
Hmm.
he's very fond of self projection, as we know that his clothes changing 3 times a day and 10 cameramen surrounding him. Cameraman will always be in the car while the chief minister is walking outside the car. So, and even when he's in the puja of God, he is standing in such a pose that cameraman can take a good photo. Whenever he used to go to meet his mother, cameraman would always accompany him. Now, I don't know any
So
son.
is this a desperate attempt by Prime Minister Narendra Modi to set things right by giving RSS what they want?
Yeah, I think it's a bit sort of a message to RSS that we are with you. We are with you. And whatever I have done, just ignore that. Means he's trying to draw a different line to distract from the lines which he has drawn so far about self projection. The final of
Hmm.
which was that I am a part of God and I am non biological. So I think that's the only conclusion I can draw as to why, after 10 years of his rule, he's bringing in this particular, he's who is overcoming this ban on government servants being part of the RSS program. So this, I think, is a very dangerous step. And main thing is that RSS tries to hide behind RSS tries to hide behind the cover of cultural organization.
Hmm.
It calls itself cultural, but what is culture? What's its called contribution to Indian culture? Is it a culture of peace? Is it a culture of unity? Is it a cultural higher culture of fine arts? None of them. Its culture means the glory of ancient values of Manusmriti. Its culture means revering your old past despite its values of inequality. And its culture means creating hatred against religious minorities, which, of course, hatred always leads to violence and all that. So, in a way, calling itself cultural organization is a ploy. I think it's a supra political organization, probably the only one of this type which not only manipulates, promotes, builds up the political organization, but also the other organizations which are supplementary to change of this democratic society towards the Hindu Rashtra or Hindu nation, whatever you call it. So that, I think, confusion it has created successfully. That's why many people think, oh, it's a cultural organization, and why you want to restrict the people from joining RSS. But bureaucracy joining RSS basically will mean what? That number
Hmm.
one, they are for Hindu Rashtra, which is a concept against Indian constitution. Actually, all our leadership, political leadership, and bureaucratic workers, they have to abide by the rules of Indian Constitution. While the prayer and the pledge of RSS is totally against such a value. So that's what I think we should draw out. The main motive is definitely to pacify RSS. That don't worry, we respect you. You carry on. Of course, JP Nadda in between said,
No, that's what I wanted to ask you, that in the run up to the elections, it was very clear that RSS was not working for the BJP on the ground. They were
correct.
very upset with the BJP, the way the BJP has been functioning for the past 10 years. Adding to that is JP Nadda's statement, the BJP president, who said that BJP is now self sufficient. They do not require the support of RSS.
Yeah.
Now, is that something that has upset the RSS, and they now the government is trying to placate them?
I think there are two or three reasons which have upset RSS. One
Hmm.
is that the BJP policies have been such that it has it has gone beyond the boundary to divide the society. So, see, whenever anything crosses its limits, it becomes starkly obvious to everybody. So, RSS wants to go in a way where its agenda is followed without being too much noticed and too much so that too much opposition can come up. That is number one. Number two, the boisterous sayings of Mr. Modi. They are in itself a major phenomenon for RSS being a bit put off. And that's why, Bhagwat on two occasions expressed his displeasure, while of course Bhagwat also kept quiet for 10 years. Please
Yeah,
note,
actually, they had no say in whatsoever the government was doing.
that's one. But they also never criticized the government because they wanted BJP to come to power. They canvass for them or don't canvass for them, but they wanted BJP to come to power because that is their best bet in political arena. And of course, they had a fear this time that the way their boastfulness goes, they claimed for 400 par, beyond 400, which against backfired very badly and which became sort of a very negative point for BJP.
So, like you mentioned, Doctor, the personality-driven politics of Narendra Modi. Does the RSS somewhere feel that it's weakening the RSS agenda of Hindutva? Because that's
I
their
think
poll plank, right?
I think so. I think so. See, BJP wants to work in a way, it wants to work on the similar issues, no doubt about that. Ram Temple, dividing the society, targeting Muslims, promoting the ancient values of Manusmriti. They want the same thing, but they want it in such a way that it should not incite a reaction to it. And I must tell you that my own feeling is that the way things were going last 4 years, 3.5 years, the opposition became very clear that if they are going for this sort of a attack on democratic values, freedom of press, freedom of religion, freedom of people for expression, that actually is what brought opposition together. And that's what prompted two major yatras by Rahul Gandhi, Bharat Jodo Yatra, Bharat Jodo
Bharat
Yatra,
Jodo Nyaya Yatra.
Nyaya Yatra, both of them were prompted, which changed the social atmosphere in totality. Social and political. I attribute those two yatras in changing the total mahol or atmosphere of the country because of that. And that, I think, worried, that created a sort of a worry amongst RSS, the way these people are going at such a reckless speed in achieving their agenda that it may backfire. So they want to put a sort of a break. So one thing, again I'll repeat. So RSS was also very clever that for 10 years they kept quiet, that it should not affect the election results negatively. And after 10 years, once the election results are out and nothing much is going to happen immediately, they started saying that you want to become a god and etc. etc. And then other ways also they tried to criticize it after the elections.
No, is this also an indication that there is some kind of resistance that is growing against Narendra Modi within the Sangh Parivar? Because the back-to-back statements of RSS chief Mohan Bhagwat assume significance in this background.
I agree. I
Does
agree.
like do you feel that they feel that Modi is weak, has become weak now with 240 seats?
Yeah. See, when Modi was having 303 seats, nobody dared to talk against him within the organization.
Hmm.
Now, as there are 240, I mean 32 short of what needs to rule with majority. So those people who are disgruntled within BJP, they are also voicing their concerns, voicing their aspirations, voicing their ambitions, and that is received by RSS in a serious way because they want to have a sort of a BJP which looks unified, like that is their basic slogan: one nation, one party, one language, etc., etc. So in that they don't want to see a split within BJP. So if Narendra Modi doesn't change his ways, probably RSS may come forward to do something, because ultimately,
Like
whatever
what
power,
happened in LK Advani's case, the organization is bigger than an individual, because for the past 10 years, what we are seeing is an individual is bigger than all the organizations, including the RSS. Now that the RSS is, going to complete 100 years, they want to say we are the boss.
absolutely. See, actually, also RSS is the boss. RSS is the boss, because you see, within BJP also, most of the crucial posts are with the RSS pracharaks, like most of the organizing secretaries of the state units of BJP. They are from RSS, and many of their leaders, they have been pracharaks trained in RSS ideology, and they actually take a pledge that I'll be loyal to RSS all through my life. So RSS is the real boss, but sometimes, as you said, that for the time being, Modi rose above the party, and that is also not to the liking of RSS. That's why it may be an attempt to reduce his size in the eyes of party, also in the eyes of electorate also.
Okay, my last question, Doctor. There is this criticism after this notification has come out. There are TV debates that are going on where a lot of people, welcome this move, particularly in, TV studios. They say that for a very long time, the Sangh Parivar, particularly the RSS, has been demonized by design. How do you respond to this?
See, a question is that what is demonization? Actually, political criticism of an organization is very much welcome. Like when Anna Hazare movement took place backed by RSS, it was a question of criticizing the party for corruption, and then Lokpal and all the other things. So in politics, criticism of a party is not demonization. Demonization is done generally of communities. Oh, Muslims are like that, Christians are like this. That is demonization. When you criticize RSS based on its documents, its actions, its subtle opposition to the values of Indian Constitution, many of its leaders openly saying that Indian Constitution needs to be changed. That's why we want 400 seats. And earlier, RSS chiefs K. Sudarshan had also made the same statement that Indian constitution needs to be changed, and a constitution based on Indian holy book needs to be brought in. So that I think is the core. It is not a demonization. Now, purposely, even Modi used to say when he was criticized for his policies, he used to say that people are giving me galis,
Hmm.
abuses, and I have to eat 2 kg. I don't know how galis are to be weighed, but he weighed that 2 kg of abuses he has to swallow daily. So, political criticism and demonization, these are two separate processes. And uh, I think a deeper analysis of RSS, whether it is political or cultural, is a welcome debate for our society. What is wrong with it? Because people these days, of course, are even going up to the Nehru, up to Nehru. They are they, accusing him for so many faults, right? Like for every fault of the country, they are going right up to Nehru. So this is not demonization. This is in a way criticizing for their vested interest, vested political interest that they want to do it. So RSS now followers of RSS, of course, will call they won't welcome criticism. They won't welcome criticism. While in politics, criticism is the route for correcting your course. It is a
Hmm.
path for course correction. So actually, criticism is something which should be welcomed so far as criticism is rational, logical, based on facts. And so most of the points which I told you are either from RSS sources or from impeccable sources of Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel's correspondence and other things. So this is not abusing, this is criticizing and bringing the facts to light which have been hidden over a period of time.
And if I ask you to sum up the move by the central government, the union government, in one word, what would you say?
See, I will say two things. One is that it is a bit of a message to RSS that don't worry, we are there with you. There were some excesses, we will set it right. And secondly, by permitting this move, they will be strengthening their journey toward Hindu Rashtra. These two things I will summarize. These two things are the central to their development.
they want to use these institutions to advance
Correct.
their Hindutva agenda, their the Hindu Rashtra agenda. That's the idea.
Yeah.
Right, Doctor. Thank you so much for talking to us and explaining to our viewers about the move that has been made by the union government. Thank you so much.